Good afternoon, everyone. So, any one of you had a chance to visit the C4I4 lab today or maybe earlier? How was your experience, sir? All right. Thank you. So anyone who hasn't visited, we definitely have a chance once we are done with this event today. Maybe in the evening, you all can have a round of the lab. I request everyone to be kindly seated. Please ensure your mobile phones are on silent. If you still have the emergency to take any call, I request you to kindly walk out of the auditorium so we do not disrupt the event. All right? Okay? Yes. Are we good? Yes. There are so many energetic students here. Can I get a yes from all of you? Thank you. So good afternoon, I'm Saili Pradhan Patankar from Kirloskar Management Services, and I'll be your host for this event. I welcome you all to this annual award ceremony honoring women leaders in automation and data science who have made significant contributions in their careers and left a lasting impact on people, organizations, and the society. A huge round of applause to C4I4 Labs for having such an event. Thank you. Well, this event is also broadcasted live on YouTube right now and also at the various centers of C4I4, that is at Jamshedpur, Trichy, and Ludhiana. We'll commence our event by lighting the lamp. And to do the honors, may I request Director at C4I4 Lab, Mr. Pradeep Kopardekar, and Founder Director at C4I4 Lab, Mr. Dattatreya Navalgunkar, to kindly escort our respected Chief Guest, Dr. Anju Sharma and Mrs. Alpana Kirloskar, jury members, Mr. Marcel Fernandes and Mr. Anup Wadhwa, event partners, Priya Nagraj, CEO of Pune Knowledge Cluster, Dr. Arvind Sharigram, Director, Savitribai Phule, Pune University Research Park Foundation, and Sheetal Panchal, Director General, Maharashtra Economic Development Council, to kindly do the honors. Let's give them a huge round of applause. The lighting of lamp is a symbolic moment that signifies the dispelling of darkness and igniting of thought and enlightenment. Thank you everyone. With this luminous start, we now officially declare the event open and proceed with our planned schedule. I request Dr. Anju Sharma and Mrs. Alpana Kirloskar to kindly be seated on the stage. Along with them, I request Mr. Pradeep Kopardekar and Mr. Dattatreya Navalgunkar to kindly be seated as well. It is my honor to introduce our chief guest for the event, Dr. Anju Sharma. She is the Director General, Kaushalya Skill University. She is a member of the prestigious Indian Administrative Service and has been serving in the government at senior leadership positions for more than 28 years. She currently holds the Office of Labour, Skill Development and Employment Department at Government of Gujarat as Additional Chief Secretary. She has also written 2 books. One is Eye of the Storm, Discover Your True Self, and Corporate Monk, A Journey from Wealth to Wisdom. Welcome, Dr. Anju Sharma. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome our first chief guest for today? We have with us Mrs. Alpana Kirloskar, Director in Alpak Investments Private Limited. She is a member of the 130-year-old Successful Business Families of India and has over the years carved a distinct identity for herself as an architect and an interior designer. Born and brought up in Delhi, she has acquired a degree in Bachelor's of Architecture from School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi, and is today one of the few women who started her own real estate company, Kiara Lifespace. She was awarded the Fashion Art Design Awards for excellence in the field of interior and architecture, the Times Power Woman Award 2017, Interior Design and Entrepreneurship, and IWEC Award, that is International Women's International Challenge 2018. Let's welcome Mrs. Alpana Kirloskar. Due to certain prior business commitments, Mr. Rahul Kirloskar couldn't be here, but he will be joining us shortly. We are all here at C4I4 Labs. Are you curious to know what happens in this lab? Yes? Yes. I request the founder director at C4I4 Lab, Mr. Dattatreya Navalgunkar, to introduce us all to what is C4I4 Lab and do share his opening remarks, please. Mr. Dattatreya Navalgunkar is a BE Mechanical and has done PG in Management. Yeah, please welcome.
So good afternoon. Frankly, I don't like personal introductions, so that's okay. So, Dr. Anju Sharma ma'am, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. We met her about 4 months back in Ahmedabad, and a lot of inspiring things she has undertaken, and the whole this skilling and education partner, it's very close to her. And today when I spoke to her, one thing which I came to know was Gujarat University, where she had been associated with, and where we actually initially were trying to set up our lab in Ahmedabad or Gujarat. So some common things which we found. So thank you for coming. Alpana ma'am, thank you for coming. She's been very she's been very supportive and plays a significant role at C4I4, of course. And second thing which we always like about her is she always has said yes to anything we have been saying. And so let's give a clap to both of them. I also want to first of all start with a thank you to my entire C4I4 team, because of whom this entire show was set up. And these are very minor things, but they have been taking care of this. This Women Leaders program we started 3 years ago, and you may be knowing that the participation of women in automation and data science is very low. And what we felt was that it's important that young minds should take this journey. And keeping that in mind, and this is the 3rd year, and let me say that every year our process of identifying, reaching out to leaders like 3 of you have also matured, and plus the kind of response we have been getting has also significantly changed. And it helps us because one of the idea was that it will inspire some of the young minds. It will also take it to a next level, especially in data science, where there is a tremendous need for industry is looking for skill and talent, and there is a tremendous talent shortage, and that's where we thought of starting this. And this year, this is the third year we are celebrating. In the year one, we had Honorable Governor of Maharashtra State. He was our chief guest. And last year, when we had this function, we had also the program held under the Ministry of Commerce. And this year, we are honored to have Dr. Anju Sharma here. So that's one good part. This year, another thing which has happened, one big milestone, we are expanding. So we now have 3 centers, one in Jamshedpur along with Tata Motors, and Marcel is here today. And this really is one of the best centers we have set up in India. Another setup which has come up is in Ludhiana. Again, Ludhiana is a cluster of manufacturing industry, and we believe that locally, see, it's not important that we should have centers at metros like us, but we should have local integrators, local manufacturers, local support system, local engineers working to solve the local problems. And that is the idea why we are setting up these centers. So next came up was in Ludhiana, and third one which is now ready is in Trichy. On a similar note, we are setting up 2 centers. By end of September, we will inaugurate those. One will be in Ahmedabad, along with Kaushik University, and the 5th one will be in Vizag. And the kind of response we are getting from industry, the kind of support we are getting from the local educational institutes is something amazing. This probably will be a unique model where across India we will have a common language of what is IoT, what is data science. It's a common understanding of all of us, because we had a varied versions. And so that's one area where we thought this will help our industry as well. We closely work with automation industry, and today both Mr. Arora and from Mitsubishi, our team is here, and Anup Wadhwa, who represents Automation Association of India, he is also here. And this is something which is very unique, that we have a blend of industry experts, manufacturing companies, technology companies supporting us extremely well. And it's all because of all of you. That's one thing. So I must also say that in last 3 years, we given internship to about 90 students, and which is a very big number according to us. Most of these 90 students were either pursuing MTechs or MS, so they had spent a lot of time with us trying to solve industry challenges. They worked with a lot of live problems, and which really has helped both students to learn, and we also got some work done from them. So all in all, our journey with support of all of this audience has been really extraordinary. I should also mention that we got a lot of support from Government of India for setting up C4I4 as well as our other satellite centers, and that also adds to something very unique as a model. So in the conclusion, I would like to say that today's award winners, we would like you to become a story for others. Your story should be a role model for others, and that is what we believe. And of course, if there is a way that you could contribute to C4I4 or our journey, that really will be excellent. And so thank you all for coming here, and we are honored to have you here. Okay. So let's give them an applause, and thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Can we just have a round of applause here, please? Heavy lunch? No, right? Thank you. As Mr. Naval Gunkar mentioned, this is the third edition of the award ceremony in this category of automation and data science. The first event was held in 2022 and thereafter in 2023, and today we are in 2024 celebrating the third year. As he mentioned, 17% of women are globally, are in the field of data science, and that is the target. Let us inspire and encourage as many women in this field we can, right? We will? Can I get a yes? Yes. Yeah, thank you. So this Automation and Data Science Award ceremony was initiated by C4I4 Labs to motivate women specialists in this field and inspire other women to come into this field. This program was introduced in 2022 during on the day of Women's Day, and thereafter every year the nominations are invited. They post on LinkedIn, Twitter, and various social media handles. This year they received around 25 nominations, and which were reviewed by the honorable jury members. And after extensive review, our jury members declared 3 winners. We are immensely grateful to all the 5 jury members who spent their time and efforts in this evaluation. It is my privilege to introduce all our jury members. I'll go one by one. Ms. Sujata Tilak. She is a thought leader and recognized expert in IIoT and Industry 4.0. She is the founder and managing director, Ascend Intellimation, executive board member, International Society of Automation, founder and past director, ISA, Smart Manufacturing and IIoT Division. She has ably led Ascend Intellimation as a leading provider of industrial IoT solutions. Ascend has developed an IIoT platform, Plant Connect, which is deployed in areas like environmental monitoring, smart manufacturing, and reliability engineering. Our second jury member, Mr. Bhaswar Goswami. He is the founder director of Edify.ai, an analytics and AI product company in Pune with clients across UK, UAE, and India. He has 25 plus years in technology and consulting and has led large digital transformations for automotive, engineering, consumer goods, consulting, and media companies. He has held leadership positions in marquee companies like GE, Bosch, and IBM. He holds a BTech from NIT Calicut and a management degree from IIM Ahmedabad. Mr. Rajendra Deshpande. He is the retired managing director and CEO of Kirloskar Oil Engines, retired in April 2020. He started his career as a management trainee in production department, worked in different departments like projects, ancillary development department, and materials department. He worked as a strategic business unit head for small engines for 3 years and then for medium engine business unit for 4 years. A total of 43 years he worked in Kirloskar Oil Engines Limited, Pune. During the period of head of medium engine business unit, Kirloskar Oil Engines Company became a flagship company amongst the Kirloskar Group. He has worked as a governing council member of Automotive Research Association of India, ARAI, for 8 years. Our next jury member, Mr. Marcel Fernandes. He is the head skill development and capability building, Tata Motors. He has worked in leadership positions in engineering, oil and gas, cryogenic companies in India, Southeast Asia, and Middle East countries. He has passion for innovation and new technologies. Our fifth jury member, Mr. Anup Wadhwa. He is an engineering alumni of IIT Delhi and a certified professional in technology management from IIM Ahmedabad. His passion for digital electronics started in college and later took him to an exciting career in the field of industrial automation and technology management. As a director at AIA, he conceptualized and steered the industry partnership with IIT Delhi and Department of Heavy Industry to set up the IITD AIA Foundation for Smart Manufacturing. He is an evangelist of the Samarth Udyog ecosystem that integrates the efforts of different agencies in government and academia. He has served on government and UNIDO expert committees related to country-relevant initiatives in Industry 4.0 with focus on interdisciplinary cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put out our hands together for all the jury members who have done an extensive review of all the projects submitted. Due to some business commitments, Sujata, Tilak, Rajendra, Deshpande and Bhaswar Goswami couldn't make it to the event, but they have sent their video bites, which we will listen to shortly. Can we have the AV, please?
Dr. Vidya, Niranjan, Sheetal, Arjunwadkar and Sonali, Kaushik. I am not present there today. However, I am glad that I can participate through this video. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to congratulate Dr. Vidya, Niranjan, Sheetal, Arjunwadkar and Sonali, Kaushik. I am not present there today. However, I am glad that I can participate through this video. These awards for women in automation and data science are very important. We live in the digital world today, and manufacturing and entire industrial activity also uses digital technologies heavily. Automation forms the foundation of these technologies, and data science brings up the top layer. Let me talk about the process for the award selection a little bit. So C4I4 team and the jury members together decided on the 5 criteria for the award selection. The first one was contribution to the respective field. And it's not only individual contribution, but how the awardees have given back to their professional community via evangelizing, mentoring, publishing of books and articles, etc. The second one was application of theory into their individual work and creating products and services that impact the society as a whole. The third one was innovative approach and ability to resolve challenging problems in their field. The fourth one was their leadership capabilities and being an example in their field. And the last one was relevant educational qualifications. Not many women are at the top in these 2 cutting-edge fields. So I was glad to see that we received more than 15 applications from deserving nominees. It was a challenging task for the jury to select top 3 from the shortlisted 5 candidates. I want to compliment C4I4 for constituting these awards for the 3rd consecutive year and encouraging more and more women to come into the challenging fields of automation and data science. I would like to thank them as well for allowing me to be the jury on this panel, and I would like to continue my association with these awards year after year. Thank you.
That was Ms. Tilak. Now we have a video from Rajendra Deshpande.
Women Leaders in Automation and Data Science 2024 Award organized by C4I4 Lab Pune. This award is presented to women with outstanding capability and contribution in the field of automation or data science or both. This year there were more than 32 participants and we have decided 5 criteria for this. First was contribution to the development of field of automation or data science. Second, application of theory and practice while working on client or community projects, thereby creating significant and long-lasting impact on the society. Third, demonstrated examples of innovative approach or thinking to problem solving to address critical problems in the respective field. Fourth, being an example for values and best practices and demonstrating leadership in the field of operation. Fifth, relevant educational qualification in automation, data science, engineering, or in the related field. Out of all this, we decided 3 awardees, and I think juries has made justice for this. Thank you very much.
To chief guests, Mr. Rahul Kirloskar and Dr. Anju Sharma, Mr. Dattatreya Navatulkar and the C4I4 team, esteemed jury members and friends. India is having one of the highest enrollment of women in technology at 52%. However, only 29% of them end up taking up technology roles in industry or academia. And only 3% of technology companies in India are currently having women CEOs. For India to become a technology powerhouse, we need more women to take up roles in technology, and we need to have many more women at leadership positions. C4I4 is playing a stellar role in recognizing women in automation and data science who have excelled in their respective fields. And I'm sure that they will become an inspiration and role models for others to also enter this industry. As a jury member, I can tell you the quality of candidates we received was phenomenal. It was really a difficult challenge for all of us to select the top 3 winners. I would like to finally conclude by congratulating Sonali, Sheetal and Vidya and wish them all the success for the future. I'm sure that they will be an inspiration and role models for other women to excel in technology roles in industry and academia. Thank you.
We are glad Mr. Marcel Fernandes and Mr. Anup Wadhwa has made to the occasion. I request them to kindly come on the stage and share their thoughts as well. Yeah, both of you, please. Ladies and gentlemen,
I think Sayali has been hinting at more energy from the room. Really? So can we give a round of applause to the 3 awardees before they land up on the stage? I've been associated with C4I4 since the day Mr. Navatulkar came to Delhi and we both appeared for a joint entrance exam by the Ministry of Heavy Industry. Luckily, we both cleared and we set up our respective centers. The center has been growing and I'm very glad that they took this theme of women's empowerment 3 years back. I was involved as a jury member this year and it was really a privilege to go through the process. What's it done for me personally is that it's made me more conscious of my role in unearthing more women leaders. And Ma'am Anju Sharma was telling me that it's for men to now surrender the leadership. Gladly, I'm willing to do that. The other thing I felt was that the women have taken extraordinary effort to overcome challenges which men like us do not seem to encounter in our career and profession. And a big cheer for all the women who are working, who are managing home, who are managing everything, household, extended family, in-laws, everything. Kudos to you. You are born leaders. So really speaking, there is no reason to have a separate award. But yeah, we still need to recognize in the public domain and in our technology domain, and look forward to celebrating more women power in the coming years. Thank you.
So congratulations, Sonali, Sheetal and Vidya. I think C4I4, we missed that Indifour also has come in 2024, right, Datatre? So C4I4 also has grown. We are very happy to be associated with C4I4 labs. I remember that when this lab started in Pune, we were one of the early people to participate with C4I4 labs. And we have seen that how lot of young ladies have joined C4I4 labs over the years. Well, I come from industry, having worked in, this is my 4th industry. I remember that when I was doing engineering, there was just one lady in a batch of 120. It was so difficult to find ladies joining the engineering stream. And I don't know how many of you all are aware, we had just 3 branches of engineering then: mechanical, electrical and civil. We didn't have any private colleges. There were only government colleges. And now when I see the last 5-6 years, thanks to the economic development, to the policy changes, a lot of good universities have, I would say, come up. And many of the universities are also aiming towards excellence. I'm very happy to have ma'am here, because skill university is something which we needed 10 years ago. Why I'm saying so? Because I lead the skill development function for Tata Motors. Last 5 years I've been handling it. And you see, if India has to produce the kind of technology and products, we really need to have the skill, the craftsmanship, the knowledge. We need to build this up. We are not there in many areas yet. And since many of the young students who are gathered here, today when we go for recruitment and when we invite students, we see that the students are very comfortable in getting our jobs where they are happy sitting in an air conditioning office and preparing presentations or doing, a job which is given by people. But I tell you, the leaders whom we have selected today and who have got the awards are the people who went to the shop floor, they started their career. They started from there. They have made a lot of sacrifice. And not everybody reaches the position, only few reaches. It is only because of their hard work, their determination. I agree with you that many years back when they started their careers, there was definitely a different mindset. It was not so easy for them to work in a male dominated environment and with different circumstances. Today, with all the things happening around, with the society also evolving, things have become much simpler. So My invitation to you all students is that you must explore this. You must dare to do something different than Yeah, sure. Am I audible? Yes. Oh, great. In fact, people who work in factories don't require a mic. So coming back to what I was saying is, I think that you people should take the first step. Okay? Not sit in the comfort of an office, but go there. Data science, AI, ML is good, but I tell you, it is only half good if you don't have the domain experience. You require domain experience. Industry requires people. You have to have the knowledge. Then you can bring the technology to make its impact. So, once again, my heartiest congratulations. I want to keep this speech or this talk short because I believe that the winners today should take the center stage, and I think it will be really inspiring to hear from them their journey. And of course, we have also some distinguished ladies amongst us, who are in very senior positions, and we are really honored also to hear about them. So thank you.
A huge round of applause to all the jury members. I request Mr. Navalmunkar and Pradeep sir to kindly come on stage along with our chief guest. So we felicitate our jury members. Dr. Anshu Sharma and Mrs. I request Mr. Marcel Fernandes and Mr. Anup to kindly come on stage. Team, can we have the audience has a huge responsibility. You have to acknowledge and appreciate whoever from there or wherever because now we don't have the mic. Ma'am has a bad throat, so maybe we take it later. Alpana ma'am, you would like to address? We're extremely sorry, this was something not planned probably. Yeah, sorry.
Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Anju Sharma, award recipients, jury members, C4I4 colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and all the students here, a very good afternoon. I'm happy to be here to join you in celebrating the achievements of women leaders in data science and automation. And my heartiest congratulations to all our bodies. So we can again this felicitation ceremony remains meaningful year after year because it recognizes women who have made a valuable contribution during their careers and impacted people, organization, and the society. Or just a sheer efficiency and discipline that is seen in the workforce, in the women workforce. The organizations are increasingly coming forward to have at least 50%, and if not at least 50%, some of them to the extent of 80, 90 or 100% of the women workforce. I handle the Industrial Safety and the Factories Act and all the regulatory aspect of industries also in Gujarat. So a large number of companies, good companies, not only big and large multinationals because of the audits. Earlier it used to be like in the multinationals there would be audit team and they say that you are poor on inclusion, so increase your workforce, so increase number of women in the workforce. But now even small MSMEs, they are coming to us with requests for night shifts for women, for increasing the percentage of women in the workforce. And if you go there, you will see a large number of MSMEs operating only through women employees. And sometimes when I happen to ask them, why do you want to do that? They say that with women in our workforce, our productivity is higher. But in the night shift, because women are not there, we lose on the productivity. And we want to maintain our productivity cycle 24/7. That's why we want women in the night shift also. So this is a situation. And there is a lot of opportunities. The entire field is open for opportunities for women now. Be it job, be it entrepreneurship, be it new ideas. And you just have to think that you can do it. Entrepreneurship is all about believing in yourself. It's all about believing that yes, I can do it. You will come across a lot of partners on your way. They will help you, support you, fund you, promote you, collaborate with you. And that would be required not only for women, it will be required for a man also. A man will not run an industry single-handed. If somebody can say, I have brought up this unit single-handed, that means that person is lying. But when it comes to women, oh, she's running it with her husband, or she's running it with her brother. So that taboo has to go. Nobody can run it single-handedly. It's just that it is men's world, so men collaborate with men and they run the units. Women, where do they go? Either they collaborate with women or they collaborate with men. So it's not weakness. Let's be open to that idea that yes, women can do it and they can run very strong businesses, very big businesses independently, and especially in the field of data, science, STEM, automation, which are actually not very physically loaded subjects. Women are doing great job and they are proving to be better performers. This initiative by C4I4 is actually taking the idea of integrating data science with manufacturing, which is actually what the entire developed world is doing now, at the moment. It's not a matter of giving your jobs to robots or removing humans from the workplace. No, it's not. And if somebody says that Industry 4.0 would lead to shift, I have time, is it? Would you like to hear me more or should I just wind up? Huh? Okay, so if somebody says that, it's displacing employment, then they're wrong. They're wrong. When one person, one labor dies on the shop floor in the factory, at least 4 to 5 people, they get orphaned. Their entire lives are shaken. And therefore, we need to shift human element away from the shop floor to more safe and mind-oriented job. It is what a developed world means, that if accident happens in an industry, no humans should lose their life. And for that, we need Industry 4.0. I don't know whether you people have looked at it from that point of view, but this is how I look at it. And that's why we need to put more and more automation on the workplace. There are such hazardous jobs, you will not believe, even something which is very innocuous. And it's like, how can accidents happen in this? But accidents do happen. Sometimes even when the person is looking down, they fall. That's not required in a developed world. We have to leave a safe world, safe and sustainable world for the future generations. And for that, we will have to bring in automation. And for automation, we will have to bring in IoT, artificial intelligence, and machine learning to transfer these hazardous, these dangerous, and these hardship-bearing jobs to the machines. C4I4 is also a partner in setting up a C4I4 lab, a Center of Excellence for Industry 4.0 in Gujarat. And we will soon be inaugurating the lab there for Industry 4.0. But we need to do a lot of hard work there in taking Industry 4.0 to the MSME sector, to make them understand why they need it, to improve their productivity, to improve their efficiency, and to make the workplace safe. It's not only that. Yes, displacement in jobs is going to take place. I agree. At least 70 to 80% of the jobs at the shop floor are going to get displaced. But more than that, and it has been researched by the Future of Jobs report as a part of WEF study, that more than that many number of jobs will be created as a part of the implementation of Industry 4.0. But the nature of jobs will be safer, will be more mind-oriented, and the productivity will be higher. The dignity of the job will be more, and resources will be put where they are actually needed and not wasted. So if we want to bring in efficiencies in operations, we have to do this. I really commend the efforts of these ladies who have, I believe there were 137 entries or so, who have participated in this, competition. There are a large number of stories in the nooks and corners of India. Small stories happening everywhere of women entrepreneurship. But they have made it in the most challenging field and the most upcoming field of data science and automation. And the work that they have done is not going to empower them, but I was interacting with them. It's also going to empower a large number of units, factories, industry in the relevant sectors. And that's how they bring in the change that we very much need. They're not only entrepreneurs, they are not only leaders, but they're change makers. And we want each of you here, the youth, we were part of the front two rows, the back side, we want each of you to become a change maker. And that's what the country needs now, and that's what our PM says when he talks about 2047 as Viksit Bharat, as a developed world, where we live in a very, very safe and sustainable world, full of happiness, full of joy, and full of a bright future. Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Anju Sharma, and thank you, Mrs. Alpana Kirloskar, for the insightful thoughts shared today. This event would not have been possible without our partners, with which C4I4 has done this event. We have our outreach partner, Savitribai Phule University, SPPU Research Park Foundation and Pune Knowledge Cluster. Knowledge partner, Maharashtra Economic Development Council, MEDC, and tech partner, Indifour Consult Pvt Limited. I request Director at C4I4, Mr. Pradeep Kopardekar, and Founder Director, Dattatreya Navalgunkar, to kindly felicitate the respective representatives we have from our partners. Dr. Priya Nagraj, CEO, Pune Knowledge Cluster Outreach Partner, Dr. Arvind Shaligram, Director, Savitribai Phule University Research Park Foundation, and Sheetal Panchal from Director General, MEDC, our knowledge partner. Ladies and gentlemen, our project partner. Priya Nagraj couldn't make it, so we have Shilpa Jain from Pune Knowledge Cluster. Dr. Arvind Shaligram. And Sheetal Panchal, Director General, MEDC. Thank you, sir. Do we have the AV from MEDC? We have an AV from MEDC. Thank you to all the partners and their representatives who could make this event possible. And now we move to the most awaited part of the event, which is, yes, let us honor our award winners. You all have seen their names on LinkedIn post or somewhere or outside? Yes? Okay, let me take the help of the audience. Our winners for today are Sonali Kaushik. Yes, come on. Dr. Vidya Niranjan and Sheetal Arjunwadkar. Ladies and gentlemen, before we call them for receiving the award, we have 3 audio visuals which will play in their, whatever work they have done, what paper they presented, and what contribution they have done in this industry. So let's have the AV, please.
Leader with over 25 years in industrial automation, excelling in marketing, sales, and business leadership. Known for her passion for people development and strategic planning, she has successfully led impactful projects across sectors like steel and food and beverage. Sonali has held key roles at Schneider Electric and Rockwell Automation and is a dedicated mentor to young women in the industry. With an MBA from FMS Delhi and certifications from Harvard and INSEAD, she combines extensive global experience with strategic acumen, making her a driving force in advancing the field of automation. Dr. Vidya Niranjan is a leading scientist and academic researcher excelling in computational biology. She has worked extensively on big data and automation in genome analysis, drug discovery, tools and database development. With extensive research experience of over 30 years, she has published 124 research articles with a H-index of 17. She is now a part of the NVIDIA Inception program on AI-based drug discovery. She is currently working on a project related to quantum computing and protein folding funded by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. MITI is an executive agency of the Union Government of the Republic of India. Meet Sheetal Arjunwadkar, an Indian entrepreneur with over 27 years of engineering experience, having led teams for Fortune 500 companies in sectors like FMCG, automobiles, and healthcare. She founded Teach Panacea Private Limited, which provides innovative technical solutions, and SACO OPC Private Limited, aiming to support 1 million women entrepreneurs. With a Master's in International Business and Finance from IIFT and a degree in Instrumentation Engineering, Sheetal has been recognized with several awards for her contributions to technology and business. She also mentors young entrepreneurs and has played a pivotal role in projects like Asia's first uterus transplant operation theatre, making her a pioneer in her field.
May I request Dattatreya Navalgunkar and Pradeep Kopardekar, along with our chief guest, Dr. Anju Sharma and Alpana Kirloskar, to kindly come on stage. So we present the award to all our winners. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep the applause. Continue. Sonali Kaushik. Dr. Vidya Niranjan. Our next winner, Sheetal Arjunwadkar. I request all the winners to come on stage so we can take a group photo with our chief guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm continuously reminding, let's applaud for these wonderful ladies for their contribution and for inspiring us all. I also request our jury members to join for the group photograph, please. Mr. Marcel, Fernandes and Mr. Wadhwa. And our partners as well, please. Mr. Sharigram and Jen. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have on stage all those who have, who are the reason why we are all here today. So big thank you. Well, I'm thoroughly excited to know how our winners got where they are today. Aren't you? Want to hear from them, right? More on what they have done. All right, coming up next, we have an interesting panel discussion with all our winners. And to moderate this, we have with us Pan-India leadership and business coach, motivational speaker, corporate trainer and consultant, Mr. Chirag Shah. His boutique training from Arista School of Finance has trained over 35,000 people across 75 plus institutional and leading corporate clients. After a successful stint in multinational banks, he followed his dream to be an entrepreneur and ventured into something that helps people become the best version of themselves. Welcome on stage, Mr. Chirag Shah. And all the winners, I leave it to Chirag. Thank you. You like to have this?
Good evening, everybody. How is the mood? Good mood? Josh seems to be pretty good, but the mood is good or no? All right. Let's see some high energy, high participation. In case you have any questions you want me to ask them, please raise your hands as well. I've prepared a list of questions for the ladies and for our prestigious winners. And one by one, we'll pose these questions to them. Hopefully, they'll cover all the points that we want to ask them. Right? So very good evening, ladies, and hearty congratulations to the three of you. Thank you, this beautiful organization, for having me as well, and my gratitude to all of you, and of course to all the seniors sitting in the front. So, couple of questions off the cuff. Anybody can choose to address. These are generic questions. It's been a long journey for each one of you, and today you see this so to speak crowning moment in your careers where you are appreciated, acknowledged, admired by people, your peers, your juniors, for all the accomplishments and all the work that you've put in. The question is, what would you say were your top 2 setbacks or top 2 successes in your journeys so far? Any 2 setbacks that come to mind, any 2 failures or setbacks or something that held you back, and of course the top 2 successes. Something anybody would like to share?
Yeah, there are setbacks, but I think the setbacks were taken as positive later. The initial setback is when I was 30 years back, when I just want to see what career I can make. So I, like anyone that time, software or Java seems to be very successful, so I completed my certification. But there was a huge pressure from the family that I cannot get into software. So I chose to go to research in Indian Institute of Science. that time it was a huge setback. I felt like I would have been a great software engineer by now. But I think that setback once, I think that is one thing which people should also know. Whenever there is a setback and there is a direction, another direction for you, you can always put your effort and make it the best. So when I go there, then I started into research, where exactly I got into, that time it is not called as data science, it is just a computational biology, where we need to start working on the data that is being generated by biology and then start analyzing and then do that. So the setback that was like, which made me from a corporate world to research was one thing. Another thing is while getting into some companies or somewhere, suddenly there will be a change. Like for example, there will be a change of policies or something. When I was doing a consulting in my academics, there was a huge setback like you need not do this consulting which has not been aligned to our objectives, but suddenly one of the policies changed. So I have to change from core biotechnology to data science, but which helped me to go over. So these were two setbacks at a given point of time for a year or a couple of years, but later it was made it better. So that is, I think, which is a major setback with the young people now. So when there is always a failure, they just drop it, leave it and go, not ready to take it up and make it positive. So that is one thing, a setback. Probably others can share your success.
Good afternoon, good evening. I would prefer to share my success story. So basically I'm an instrument engineer, and I feel like instrumentation is the foundation or a base of automation. So sensors and transducers and all these things build the processes. I started my career with Tata Motors way back in 2004 when the ladies working on a shop floor was not a usual terminology. So maybe that was my challenge, like working on a floor with male dominating environment. And as I mentioned, for me, the restriction was I was supposed to work from sunrise to sunset. And since I'm a shop floor person, I have invested my all holidays on the floor because all shutdown happens on holidays. So I would like to share my success story. When I was part of Tata, I experienced first success, or which I can say was a dream of mine. I played a critical role in the expansion of passenger car. Like in 2004-5, around 500 cars were manufactured on the Tata floor, shop floor, and the ramp up was happened for 750 cars per day. So I witnessed that, the shutdowns, the downtimes, and the different types of conveyors and how the car is manufactured. So that was my eureka moment, and I felt like, yeah, this is the moment, and that's why I have pursued my engineering. So that was my, I would like to share that is my success story. And as far as setback is concerned, as compared to current industry, I feel like nowadays data is easily available. Which we struggle for the data. Like if we have to design certain system, we have to go back to the academics and look for the sensors and technologies and all those things. And nowadays this data is easily available. So I feel like the kids are pretty blessed nowadays.
Yes. Probably they don't have to struggle so much for simple things that probably your generation had to struggle for or didn't have easy access to.
Yeah, but I would say I'm blessed because what I have earned so far is my hands-on experience. I learned it through my experiences. The plus minus whatever I have learned is permanently registered.
Absolutely well said, ma'am. I think there's one more point here where I think the challenges for the current generation are very different now. You know, they probably have far more competition to deal with. They probably have far more peer pressure to deal with. So maybe we'll get to the challenges that you see the current generation having and get your insights on it. My next question was for, I think, Dr. Kaushik. The three words that come to my mind when I look at people joining the workforce or coming into jobs or entrepreneurship is experience, expertise, and exposure. How important do you think per se that these three are? Experience, expertise, and exposure.
Thank you. I mean, I guess that's the 3 E's that we are all investing, not just in the MNCs, but also in the SMEs as well. But before I get to that answer, I would like to congratulate C4I4 for putting together, this initiative. I thought it will go a long way. Also, one of our chief guests mentioned that, this is the key area, automation and data sciences. And so 3-4 pillars are sort of integrated here in terms of putting this together. So thank you very much. And anything that we could do, I could do, we'll be very, very happy to contribute. So coming to 3 E's, I think all 3 of them have their own places to play, particularly where you are in your journey. So you talked about experience, exposure, and experience, exposure, and education, right? Expertise, okay. So in the beginning, when you were starting your journey, that time, of course, the expertise matters because you are making an entry. Then comes experience and exposure both. And then as we go along, the experience does bring in the insight that is needed. But what is important is that when we put together the human strategies, there has to be a balance of all 3. So for our leadership programs or leadership development investment that cannot just be either one of them. So all 3 of them need to be balanced, and all 3 of them need to have a proper strategy in terms of developing our leaders. Did I answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. I think that leads to the next question, which is quite a few of our young colleagues today are not really looking at joining a company in terms of employment. They want to start their careers through entrepreneurship. They want the funding, they want that initial boost. What, according to, and any one of you could answer this, what according to you should be their mindset as an entrepreneur? What are the practical things that you think they should keep in mind? What should be the roadmap? Any insights on that if they want to be an entrepreneur?
Okay. So I'll just start and then I'll give it to you. Probably you are much more qualified in a practical way to answer that. I would say that we need to celebrate the culture of experimentation and culture of failures. And that is happening. But traditionally, we are more inclined to success. We are very eager to talk about success stories. But when we get to entrepreneurship, there will be failures. We need to celebrate them. We need to learn from them. And the culture of experimentation is extremely important. And of course, at the end of the day, it's the self-esteem which will take you so far. So those are my 2 cents, but then I haven't been an entrepreneur in the field. So let's hear from Sheetal what she has to say.
Thank you. So over the past 10 years, I have been an entrepreneur, and the change what I have witnessed is, it's about fulfilling your passion. Entrepreneurship is generating the employment, pursuing your dreams. And the thing which is absolutely required is having the passion, and you run behind your passion. Be curious about what technology is going ahead, and there are a lot of schemes, lot of beneficiary measures they are coming up. The governments they are supporting the startups and incubations. All these measures are available. So I'll invite everyone to be an entrepreneur. It's a beautiful journey, and witness that. We are there to handhold you. We are there to support you, and it's like dream come true kind of the fulfilling. I will say.
Yeah, I just want to tell you that Indian genetically are all entrepreneurs. If you just see ancient days where everybody is doing their work, like there are a division of works where people have run. In between we had some people who are ruling us, and later now after 50 years, I think getting back to entrepreneurship is something which is going to happen. So genetically first we are all entrepreneurs and we have to bring back it. And the second thing, I don't say that anybody is entrepreneur only setting up a new office. Even working in any of the office, if you think you are an entrepreneur there in that unit, making every revenue or innovation to that unit, your success is going to be very much. You are going to become leader very soon. So entrepreneurship is not a separate entity. You can always cultivate in the job what you are going to do. And very recent, I just want to say that what you told, entrepreneurship is a new slogan, not at all. I think still, since I have been in the academic also, I think the last choice for all the people, students, is entrepreneurship. They would be very happy if they get employed in a multinational and get lakhs without any problem. So I think the entrepreneurship, in spite of government having such policies, it has not been fully, only the cream layer of the people are still not getting into entrepreneurship. They are going for only a multinational or going abroad. Still we are unable to attract the cream people to the entrepreneurship. Once if the government policies can attract them, then only the entrepreneurship in India is going to be highlighted. For that, the major concern what I feel is the salary. Instead of giving a huge funds and setting up entrepreneurship, I think if you can attract the cream person who is being deployed in Microsoft, the same funding can you give it to him and you make him to be a better entrepreneur. I think still we are not exactly, in spite of having so much funds and skills, still the entrepreneurship is a big thing which has to be developed in the country.
Thank you, ma'am. Quick show of hands. How many of you want to be entrepreneurs? Only 3 people? I want to be an entrepreneur. All right. Cool. Did you know this one? No. Actually, I want to be an entrepreneur. Absolutely, ma'am. And start on your own.
That's my wish unfulfilled.
Absolutely. This is a practical question. This field is highly technical. There is a lot of science that is applied. And there's so much new technology coming, it is very hard to keep up with so many advancements that keep happening. And there's so much innovation and evolution happening. Somewhere do you feel that people are becoming over-dependent on technology and not applying their own minds in that sense, where our dependency, our focus is so much on technology that we've actually stopped applying. For example, if you live in Pune and if you've lived here all your life, you shouldn't really need Google Maps to go from point A to point B. But I observe nowadays even old friends who've come to my house maybe 100 times are now using a map to get to the same location, and they say, I needed to check the traffic. But I wanted to get your insights on this, that do you think we as people are becoming overly dependent on technology and not applying or using our own mental faculties as much as we should be?
I think the latest technology, for example, AI, ML, or data science, or IoT, or quantum computing, the latest one, these are all just a technology which is going to be a tool to aid the innovation that every domain is having. It cannot be a domain of its own. I think that is the basic assumption that others are doing, where exactly AML is done for whims and fancies without any problem that is really happening to solve the problem. So that is why I want to just give you an example of my journey, how exactly I became a data science. When we started, it was like information in biology was just a kid. Like everybody started enjoying, oh, information can give so many things. You can go to the database, you can get the protein that is going to keep the eye blue or something, where everybody was like they were enjoying this data as a kid. Slowly, when this evolution happened with the data, we started developing a pattern. We predicted the disease. We predicted the genes that are responsible for certain disease. Those things, when it started, it became like a young girls slowly everybody started admiring the data. Then slowly I was just wondering why automation and data science is together when I applied for it. Then I realized from my real time. So initially we used to generate so much of data. If you go for drug discovery, we used to have 2.5 crore small molecules which are possible drug for any diseases. So 2.5 crores data is there. And you consider genomic sequencing. Each and everything that is having life in the world have a different genome. And I have a different genome, you have a different genome. So if you see the data there, it's so huge. How can you have such big data thanks to automation, where the genome sequencing is just a day to sequence your genome or my genome. So the automation is what has created a humongous data. And now what happened? The biologist has to marry the data science. Without data, the biologist cannot interpret. So that is the transformation we had, and then once the data is more, then we started developing AML model for predictions. So it has to evolve for a purpose, for solving some problem in the domain, then the new technology has a meaning. So the same technology cannot apply for other domain for just whims and fancies of different algorithm or different thing. Right now the quantum computing what we have is so difficult because till now the host pathogen interaction through classical mechanics has not been solved right now. So the quantum gives us results how to solve the problem of drug interactions. So all the tools and techniques or the new technology has to have a purpose to solve a problem, and then your answer is right. But if it is misused or just done for whims and fancies, definitely what you say is true.
Yes. I think, yeah.
No, I totally agree with her and just compliment one more point that, in fact, when we were coming, we were discussing that with Anup. We alluded to that, but we couldn't complete the discussion. So we was talking about how ChatGPT is helping to build some of his projects. The question is that whatever tools it is, technology-based, if it doesn't come with an insightful mind, right, it will never bring the value that you want it to bring. And I think you were mentioning that in your speech that technologies cannot replace business leaders by not touching the industry or not touching the shop floor or not touching the reality, right? So once we are clear on those, that there are certain things that technology cannot replace, and that's where the insights, the experiences come in, and we use it with insights, then I feel the real values will come. Otherwise, it's a mechanics.
No, I think well said, ma'am. I think at the end of the day, each one of us have to constantly think of what problems are we trying to solve for mankind, and where can we actually help people. So here is the next question. When, for example, students, when they are in a particular field in academia, how important do you think is for them to constantly channelize their thinking to check what they are working on, or what assignment they are working on, or what thesis they are working on? How important is it to constantly check where can this be used in practical life? That's my next question. Don't you think it is very important for students to keep that focus? What do you feel? Because when you're in academics, there is a tendency to, you're so immersed in what you're doing, probably looking for the practical application is also a priority. That was my point.
Yeah, I think now the new policies, like, I don't know, NEP policies, if you have seen, the new government has got excellent things in place for the students. I think if you see around 60% of our students go abroad, the cream people go abroad and generate revenue. Where is the problem in India to have such a higher education? That is because the practical applications. So it was always that very few people, if you see in any institute, very few are people who have this type of professional mindset. I'm from academia, but still I feel this professional mindset in academia or research is very important to have this in place, because the immediate people who are interacting or who are inspiring to the students are first to their faculties. The faculties should be professional, because after going from the college, the students have the hardship to become professional, because something which is taken granted in the schools and colleges, they should completely shift into a professionalism. I think the educational system or the research system should be much more professional, and I think the MEP policies are all very good, like be student-centric. It is more on what students demand, what industries demand, and then the academician are just the facilitator to make it happen. That's what the MEP policies are in about. I think implementation, I don't know how much the implementation of the new national educational policy is going to be implemented, but that has got lot of things. Maybe I will not say it has also have some drawbacks, but at least the first attempt to make it much more professional and having the students, and I am not sure, like maybe I can say 80% of my achievements, either in terms of fundings, is from students. My PhD students or MTech students and MS research students who were properly taken in, their potentials have been harnessed to do this. So I would say that that is how the new, and I would suggest most of the, I'm also 20 years I was in industry and then slowly shifted to academics. So I think many of the industry people to be in contact with students, academics, or the academicians should have a lot of faculty development programs in industries to make this happen.
Thank you, ma'am. Sheetal ma'am, next question is for you. People who are looking to join the workforce, find jobs in the industry, what would you say are some of the top skills that are in demand today that they should start working on themselves, since they're preparing for the real world, they're preparing for the job market? What are the actual skills that they should be working on, which are in demand?
So the shift which I have witnessed, like when I was student and when we were about to pass out and join somewhere, so for us the dream was to join manufacturing industry, because that's where the engineering lies. But now when we interview students, when we meet people, for them joining engineering industry is somewhere they should have Starbucks coffee machine, they should have cafe coffee day machine, they should have fantastic setup, they must have AC facility. No, that is not engineering. Engineering is something you should work on a shop floor, you should know how the technology works, the challenges. If system is not working, it is not working. If it is working, it is working. You must understand the meaning of downtime. It is very crucial, very essential, and I feel that's where the technology, Industry 4.0, IoT and sensors and everything plays a crucial role in making things real, and that's why we are progressing towards the, the bigger economy. So my suggestion or my advice to the students or the youngsters who are joining the industry is be curious, be open to learn. Just have an open eye, listen, learn what is happening around, what better you can implement. If you don't know anything, you don't know, but there is still opportunity lying there. Go and learn and then implement it. There is ample opportunities coming in. So it's not like पहले हम लोग ऐसे करते थे, एक बार एक कंपनी ज्वाइन किया तो रिटायरमेंट तक वहीं पे जाना है. सो पीपल यूज टू कॉल दो पंच एक लंच, बट इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. नाउ द शिफ्ट इज देयर इन द इंडस्ट्री. People try out different opportunities, different companies, multinational companies, they are coming in. So you need to brush up your skills. And my advice to the youngsters is like you should be like pencil. If it has point, it is workable. If it doesn't have point, it is worthless. So you need to sharpen your skills every day and check for the opportunities. Like it's not like rocket science. So every different sea needs different skill sets. So depending on the industry, everyone is required to sharpen their skills and stay up to the mark.
Yeah, well said. Couple of more points here is that if the intent is to get something easily, comfortably, in a fashionable, sexy atmosphere, then we need to understand that we have a new competition now, which is AI. If we are not adding value, the technology will, okay? So we'll be replaced by the technology. So in our time, we didn't have that competition, So it was competition for hard work or for the traditional thing. But now with this, I think it's even more important that we make our hands dirty and we don't look for wrong KPIs of comfort, cafe, coffee day, and the right things that we were talking about, because then I will be replaced very soon. AI can do my job. I'm not needed. Nobody is going to pay me for that. So that's it.
Yeah. So the question is, where do you strike a balance in terms of how much technology does one use so that one doesn't make oneself redundant? Where do we strike that balance? Because now, you'll observe people are using chat GPT or technologies such as that to draft even a regular email, for example. So where does one find the balance?
I'll just tell you an example. Recently, we have been shortlisted for Gates Foundation thing. There, the same question was gated. We have applied for women PCOS prediction. Okay, we had a question that has been asked. So what is a novel in your project? So that why should I give you? Because ChatGPT, if I put the symptoms of PCOS, it is going to give the same. So here is the answer which we defended. So ChatGPT takes up from all the web resources that is available. But what we do is, we have WHO guidelines alone will be given embedded into the cloud, that embedded system, that whatever we have. And then we also have Google API, where even in any of the language that they do, the Google API will translate into the right thing, and it will be validated by the WHO guidelines. And then also we will have a set of doctors to scrutinize, to train those learning models. So there is a huge difference between a ChatGPT. So especially when you consider for healthcare, ChatGPT gives lot of hallucination. You call that as a term called hallucination. So that is not good. The technology, suppose it takes somewhere, I have all the rights to put something in the web of my choice. The ChatGPT is going to take that also and give it to the user, which is not correct in healthcare. So this is what is the technology wrong on ChatGPT, but definitely ChatGPT is going to make your English very nice, it's going to massage, it is going to make the best that you can put it in the document. I say the technology is good there, but when you consider for healthcare, especially for PCOS, where young girls is going to ask ChatGPT, this is my symptoms, do I have a PCOS? It should not misguide. So there is a huge difference between the ChatGPT and the apps which we do for healthcare. So this is where the technology limit, and it is so dangerous if you don't have a line or the guidelines right now.
Anybody wants to add anything?
No, I think it's,
okay.
Very well
So
kept.
a couple of experiences that we wanted to hear from each one of you. This was regarding maybe a prominent success story that each one of you had in your career, something that can inspire our audience, something that they will learn from. Ma'am, we can start with you. Anything that you'd like to share?
Look, I had a journey of 3 decades. So naturally there are lots of stories. Some of them of achievements, some of them are big failures. But a few of them, that still gives me energy. Okay, so I don't know whether there's success story or not, but there's certainly energy story for me. So I'll just quickly share one of that, and it so happened that it occurred in the beginning of my career. Okay, that shows that that time we were very pure and very selfless in terms of work, or in terms of commitment, or in terms of giving back. So this was like 4th year of my journey, 4 years into the industry. And in one of the big steel plants, I cannot name, so one of the big steel plants in India, we got this order of bringing digital technology. The first digital technology, and it's a steel plant. And Anup and we are talking about today, if you do a steel plant, you can do anything. It's like if you drive in Calcutta, you can drive anywhere, right? You can take up any plant. It's the most complex plants that one can have. And our contract was to do end-to-end. And whole new digital technology. So it's not just India, even the rest of the world have seen bits and pieces, but not end to end. So I was entrusted to do the project management, and we went to this steel plant. So when you go for a startup commissioning at that point of time, you go with completely an open time frame, because you don't know how long it will take, when will you come back. So I left my infant daughter at home. I mean, of course, there were people to take care of, and went. But what I would like to share with the young people here, that probably what kept me going is I never had even an iota of guilt that why I am doing this. I was very sure in my mind and very clear in my mind that I have signed up for this and I have to show up with the best of my ability, okay? Of course I was sad. Of course there are nights when I will cry, but not out of guilt. Just out of I was missing my daughter or missing my family. So that's one. Then the second part was, when you bring in a complete different technology, it's not just the technology, it's the culture that needs to change. And that needs to change not for the company that I was working for, a pioneering automation company. Again, I will not take the name, but probably most of people know. And so not just for that company, but for the customer. And a 4-year-old in the industry, you have to intuitively learn that the culture change is needed. Now, when I look back, I can put dots, connect the dots and articulate it. But that time, just intuitively, you had to do this culture change. And the team that you are managing is, is a very senior team. They are senior to you in many aspects because they are experts and stalwarts in their respective fields. So that's another point, when you manage this kind of a team, bring in the change of culture. So for me, it still gives me energy in terms of keeping in mind the confidence and the conviction that I had. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think when you build a great career or you build a formidable career, I think sacrifice is a very important, ingredient in that. There are a lot of sacrifices that we make. So thank you for that. Any success story that you would like to share? Anything that stands out, ma'am?
So, the all credit goes to my family actually, who supported me, who stood behind me during my all tough times, during my learning phase, and I feel that the reason I could able to achieve something. I've been fortunate enough to work with couple of Fortune 500 companies in my this tenure. What I have witnessed is the Fortune 500 companies, they are different because they have systems, processes, everything is defined. And I felt like that is the gap which we can implement in Indian market could create a differentiator. So when I was working with the companies and now when I'm an entrepreneur and I have my couple of companies, it needs sacrificing your time. But the thing which I have followed is, like on a professional life, the way you carry out SWOT analysis. I conduct SWOT analysis on a professional as well as personal front as well. When my kids were small, I sacrificed a lot. Now when my kids grown up, I feel like whatever I have missed out during those phases, I try to give them as much as I can possible. So SWOT analysis is very important, not just on a professional front, but yes, on a personal front also, you need to go back and revisit and correct whatever has left out. Giving quality time rather than the quantity, I felt like it's one of the good thing which we can offer when we are working in a automation industry or the industry where everything is unpredictable. Because when system is down, it's down, and you have to be there on the next moment, and you need to attend the problem and find out the solution. So I prefer to have quality time with my parents, with my kids, family and friends, and I feel like these 2-3 factors have helped me to reach to this level.
I'm sorry if I am very blunt. I think the success and ups and downs always goes like it's crazy. The success story is when you think, yeah, family to some level is definitely helping you, parents, kids and everything. But the success lies when you think that the whole world can be against you, but you are the only one who can help yourself. That's where the realization and the success starts. So I think other things are just cloud, like you enjoy it or you will have tough times with kids or family or everything. But the realization when you feel that you are the only one who can help you, can inspire you, is the success. That's where I start getting more success and happy to take the failures also. I think that's the one thing which I would like to share.
Thank you. I think with that we come to the end of our panel discussion. I'd like to thank the three of you for your wonderful, insightful responses. Thank you so much, ladies. In case anybody has questions, anybody? We had, yes? Yeah.
Hello. Okay, good evening. First of all, I would like to thank C4I4 for having us here from Christ College. Secondly, congratulations, ma'am. So my question is that today, as young women, as myself, would be looking up to beautiful and inspiring women like your self. Who were the women or people you looked up to when you were our age? Or even today you look up to for your success or inspiration? I know you have been blunt with your answer, but yeah.
CM then, Jayalalitha. I used to see her like the way she gets into it, and it's not political. I'm not just talking about her political career, but an individual career. The way she has come up, she is one of the inspiring, which is unreachable, but I can see her stubbornness and how she helped herself to come up in spite of so many ditches. That's what will happen when you come to the leadership. So I think there will be always the backstabs, and you cannot believe anybody in the professional career. She is one of the best thing. And I would also say in the professional level, when I was doing my postdoctorate at ISC, I had my professor called Saraswati Vishweshwaraya. She is one of the best scientists I've ever seen, because with others I see the aggressiveness in the leader of women to come up. But she is the one who taught me how you can be polite, how you can be humble, how you can be calm, but still be assertive to understand, to do what you want. I think the combination of the self-evaluation from big leaders and aggressiveness in a very humble way from the mode of action I took from my postdoc scientist, and the aggressiveness I took from many of the leaders. So I just thought the hybrid should be helpful for us to have some purpose in life, and that's what I did actually.
Actually, I come from a family of doctors. So my parents, my grandparents, my brother, everyone is doctor. So it just happened when I was in 10th standard, my father's friend, that time he was working with Tata Honeywell. And it just happened like one day he said, engineers make the world. And I felt like that was eureka moment for me, and I just inquired, what do you mean with that? And that time he said, oh, engineers do this, they are contributing to that. So for me, the reason why I am in this industry was the statement, engineers make the world.
So you wanted to know that who have been our role models?
Yes.
Okay, to be very honest, I don't have one specific role model or one specific the answer for you. There are people who have been role models for me and from my family itself, okay? I didn't have to go too much outside. So as an example, sometimes we always, sometimes we miss out the sacrifices that our parents make, okay? So my mom, she did a lot of sacrifice. When I was doing the work, traveling, not at home, she left her family, Sansar, right, to come to Delhi to take care of my daughter. And so she is my role model in many ways. And she is not a professional that she understands or appreciates so much or can relate to it. But as a mother, she was very inspiring. She knew that what I'm doing, I have committed, I made commitment, I have to show up for that, I have to give my best. And then whatever she could do at her end, which was a big thing, leaving her family and coming here and supporting my family was, she is my role model in many ways.
Thank you so much. Even for me, my mother is the first inspiration in life.
Thank you. One.
Congratulations to awardees and Center for Industry. I'm standing here just to tell everybody that recently I've written a book on a roadmap for an entrepreneur. And I've given all the tools, templates, and checklists in that book. And the reason that I have spent 40 plus years as an entrepreneur and 10 plus years I was in academics. So I have experience, I have gone through the whole process, and I just thought of sharing all my experiences for the young generation. I have started with Venture Mind Canvas, then Idea Ecosystem, Biomimicry, Design Thinking, and the GPS, that is a guided path to success, and where a business model has been given, right from how to build up your vision till your financial pricing and everything. So this is just for you. It is available on Amazon, Roadmap for an Entrepreneur. Thank you.
Any question there? One second. Yes, sir.
When you were entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, I personally believe that you believe in women empowerment. What you are making efforts to motivate or inspire the young generation? This is a common question, and Sheetal, particular question is, how many women you have employed in your organization?
Okay. So, my company, SACO, my objective is to support 1 million women entrepreneurs. I strongly believe, like earlier we used to say, if girl is educated, the family is, but now the technology and the concept is changed. If a lady or woman is an entrepreneur, the entire family becomes the family of entrepreneurs. So my ultimate aim is to support women entrepreneurs. So at my company, I have all employees. We are women, and it's a 100% women-led organization.
We have time for one last question. Anybody? Yeah.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am. So I'm from Kirloskar Pneumatic. Currently I'm working in the R&D. So we develop air compressors. So for the capital good industry, we have utilized Industry 4.0 in our Saswar factory. So we have utilized there. But I'm from the particularly mechanical design domain. So still we are trying to comply with all the current technologies that we have. But I have a certain generic question, like in which fields the such technology are relatively new, like in design domains. So how to, like ma'am was saying that there are generic technologies coming, like say chat GPT or let's say the AI models. So where to, like how the selection criterion should be for such critical processes, and how do we limit ourselves, like in which section we should select which technology, and what should be the criterion for it, like what should.
I think the best solution for this is to have more rounds of discussions with experts and just to draw a line where exactly the solution lies. You have to go with computer science professionals, you have to go with electronics professionals. I think a multidisciplinary approach, and even though you have certain judgmental idea yourself, you have to take every words from the experts and start analyzing. And I tell you again that you have a problem, you have to take a solution with the experts where they will let you not go beyond the lines. So I think a proper review with the experts and multidisciplinary is an advantage for this type of problems.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for your time and for your responses. And thank you to the audience as well.
Thank you to all the winners, interesting thoughts, inspiring stories. Thank you, Chirag, for leading such a powerful discussion. I request Founder Director at C4I4, Mr. Dattatreya Navalgunkar, to kindly present a memento to Mr. Chirag Shah. Chirag, kindly come on the stage. Thank you. Thank you, Chirag. So what a fantastic event, right? You have some adjectives to share? Anyone from the audience? You're speechless? One adjective. Let's start from the right-hand side. Yes, one word to describe this event. Powerful. Okay. Center. Inspirational. Thoughtful. Inspiring. We are falling short of words. Exciteful. All right. Thank you so much. So the inspirational journey of all the award winners, thank you once again, because of whom this event was possible. As we come to the end of this event, I'd like to extend our sincere thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Anju Sharma and Mrs. Alpana Kirloskar. Thank you for being here. Also, thank you to Mr. Rahul Kirloskar. Yes, he couldn't make it, but a big thank you to him. Thank you to our partners, outreach partners, Savitribai, Phule, Pune University Research Park Foundation and Pune Knowledge Cluster. Our knowledge partner, Maharashtra Economic Development Council, MEDC. Tech partner, Indifour Consult Pvt Limited. Thank you to all the jury members, Sujata Tilak, Bhaswar Goswami, Rajendra Deshpande, Marcel Fernandes and Anup Wadhwa. Thank you for all the work that you put in to review all the participants who had submitted their projects. A big thank you again to Sonali, Kaushik, Vidya, Niranjan and Sheetal, Arjunwadkar. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Mr. Pradeep Kopardekar, Director at C4I4 and Mr. Dattatreya Navalgunkar, Founder Director at C4I4 and the entire team at C4I4 for making this event. A big thank you to all of you. A big thank you to all the audience here. Thank you for patiently sitting through when we had a minor power cut. Thank you. And thank you to all the students who are here. I would like to, formally let's close the event. All students are requested to assemble on the ground floor. Due to technical reasons, the visit at C4I4 lab cannot happen now. But all students who have registered kindly assemble on the ground floor. All the industrial dignitaries who have registered and come in, I request you to be seated here, and we'll be meeting outside for networking purpose. A big thank you to all of you. This is Saili Pradhan Patankar from Kirloskar Management Services. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Audience, just a moment. Just a moment. Please be seated. Just a moment. So, I would like to call Dattatreya sir and Pradeep Kopadikar sir on the stage. We would like to felicitate at today's beautiful and the making beautiful event for today for all of us. So please, Saili, come on stage. Dattatreya sir. Everyone, please have applause.